Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Disney Diaries with Wand Compass Travel. I am joined today by my friend Emma, who had an amazing trip very recently, fresh back from the trip. We were just talking about the weather being like shocking to the system because you were in beautiful sunny Florida. Now you're back home where it's freezing. But I can't wait to hear all about your girls' trip. So feel free to introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about who did you go on this trip with and where did you go?
Hi guys. My name's Emma. I went on a girls' trip. It was a bachelorette trip for my friend Cassidy. There was about five of us who started out the trip. We went to Universal and then we met up with the other three at Disney World, and we had 7 days of pure magic. It was top notch. Loved it so much. I don't think I could ever get over this trip, honestly. It's been kind of just such a magical time for us. It's a lot different going from taking your kids and having to break and needing to maybe take a nap versus like, okay, we're here, we're gonna go, go, go. It's gonna be the best thing. So we started with a bunch of girls from labor and delivery and Cassidy's sister, who is her maid of honor. Left, we got on the plane. None of us had express passes for Islands of Adventure because we were just gonna wing it. um then we started looking at the wait times for Hagrid's, and it was like 200 minutes. So we were like, an impromptu buy of an express pass is needed right now before we get on this plane. So we did that. So as soon as we got to Universal, we checked into Cabana Bay, which is fine. We loved it there when we went with the family. So we went back to stay in like a standard room versus a family suite room. And we honestly didn't love, as a whole, I feel like we didn't really love the Cabana Bay. We probably could have stayed more expensive, I would say, and then we would have felt better. But we weren't in the rooms very long, so it was fine for what it was.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would say like Cabana Bay is one that I always see a lot of people love, especially when they're going with kids, because of the idea of like the water park style pool and all of that on site. I stayed in November in Cabana Bay in a standard room too, and I was like, meh.
yeah, it
It
was
was a
very
little
good.
dated. Like
Yeah,
it kind of felt like it needed some updates.
yeah, even like it had like a wet smell when we got into the room, and I was like, I don't ever remember this at Disney, but yeah, it
Yeah.
was something to be like, maybe next time we'll try a different one. So
Yeah. Well, and I think
if
your
we would
point
have,
too about the express passes, that's always the balancing act is like
yeah,
going with the more expensive
right.
resort that will include some of those express, at least for the original two parks. I feel like that's always what we're kind of toying around with when we're helping other people travel and figuring out their.
Absolutely. I think it would have been beneficial if we were to do more days at Universal than we did, but we only did that first day and then the second day. So we
Yeah.
just decided to just buy the express passes.
Mhm.
Um, so we got all checked in. We headed on a bus to Islands of Adventure. I had never rode the Hulk before, so I got to do that for the first time, and that was exhilarating.
Mhm.
You can definitely tell it's an older style coaster just because of the way it kind of jolts you versus like Velocicoaster, where it's just like smooth the whole entire time.
Mhm.
But I really enjoyed it. And then we traveled with some girls who had never been to Universal before, and some of us who have. And just seeing it through their eyes was kind of magical to me because I'm used to this stuff. Other people are not. And I have to remember that. And it's just like, wow, yeah, you're taking it all in for the first time. It's beautiful.
Mhm.
Um, so we did Hagrid's multiple times. We got to do it at night, which I had never done before. And that was a different experience as well.
Mhm.
Um, our friend Olivia, she bought a little Hedwig on her shoulder, and it was the cutest thing in the world. We loved it so much. She said, "Oh, she's a mom."
I feel like that's the thing with Universal Parks is there are so many big attractions that you're
Yeah,
obviously prioritizing, you're rushing to get to those, you're waiting in line for those, but just like the merch shops are really good, especially the Harry Potter ones. I think Hogsmeade has some amazing merch shops like right outside the castle. But I do think that it's just a matter of like slowing down and seeing all those little pockets of Universal parks is something that people don't always prioritize, but there's so much magic in those spots too.
there is. There really is. We were disappointed because Hogwarts always wasn't playing. I think it only plays in the fall times or during summer. It's kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
We did see that when we went to Hollywood and we loved it so much, but I had never seen it before then. And we were like, oh, that's so magical. I love seeing the castle lit up and all
Yeah.
the Ravenclaw and Slytherin and all the houses light up on the castle. It was great. Um, and then after we spent probably from 2 p.m. to park close there. And we got to ride Velocicoaster multiple
Mhm.
times. We rode Hagrid's multiple times. We didn't really spend a lot of time in like the kids land, like the Seuss land.
Right.
We were just really wanting to get on those like major attractions, up the thrill rides.
Sure.
Uh, yeah, it was a great time. And then we went back to Panda Bay and we woke up bright and early in the morning to go to Epic for the first time. And that was amazing. It took all of our breath away. It was
Yeah.
also very cool to experience a new park for all of us, not just for some of us. That was different.
Hmm.
Um, like when you first go into the gates, the music's playing and you're just like totally immersed from the get-go. For us, we got there maybe 15 minutes before early entry and we were able to get right in.
Hmm.
There were some lines, but it wasn't like a huge amount of line to wait to get in. Not like at the Disney parks, I feel like the Disney
Hmm.
ones are a little bit more heavily stacked, I feel.
Hmm. I think that they spread out that and those ticket
Yeah,
areas too at Epic, where I feel like you have so many lines you could go to that you don't feel. And then there's the two different directions you can walk through,
right.
whether you're going
Yeah.
to one side or the other. How did you? And what was your experience when you compare the original Islands of Adventure parks to Epic? Like, how did that feel going from one to the other? Because I had a definite like reaction seeing Epic compared to Islands of Adventure, which was like it's a fine park, and then I went to Epic and I was like, this is incredible. What
Yes.
was your take?
I also felt the same way. It was like something I know and I love, and then I get here to this new thing, and I'm like, wow, I didn't think I could love it anymore, but I do. And
Yes.
it's the sights, it's the smells, it's the uh like going into every portal just literally takes you there and is so immersive.
Mhm.
It's really a sight to be seen.
I think that videos and photos don't really capture the scale. As much as you try to capture the scale and explain it to people, there's really nothing like experiencing it. It's one of those parks that I kind of wish I could experience it for the first time again, just because
Yes.
that first time is walking in was so like magnificent.
Right. Yeah. We we started also. I have to talk about when everybody's like lined up ready to go, and then the park like actually opens, and then there comes the music, and they're talking about how you're Epic Universe, and it's I don't even know what they were saying honestly, but it was just them telling you a little bit about the park basically, and like the Celestials and all the stuff. It was great.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
think people realize there's a whole storyline for
yes,
Epic, and they recited it park opening, and it's basically like you enter this place where these portals kind of align, like everything
right.
just magically happens in this one space, and you are able to then access these different worlds, these different portals through these time kind of
Yeah.
things. But I think what else I really love is the music there because they did do original scores for even just walking into Celestial
Yeah.
Park, and it just takes you away from reality, and you are in a whole new universe.
Yeah, it was, I can't fathom it, honestly. It was incredible. So we first started our park day. We saw that everyone was running, literally running to battle at the ministry, and we were like, we're not going to do that. So we started at Darkmoor in the Dark Universe, and going into that for the first time, seeing all the fog, seeing all like Frankenstein building. I don't know what it was it called.
Dark Frankenstein Manor, like the
Yeah,
manor.
the
Yeah.
manor. It's huge. It's so tall. That was our first ride that we rode was Monsters Unchained.
Okay, that's the one to start with.
Yes, and wow, it blew our minds. It did go down a couple times, but they gave us another express pass for something else that we could use. So we were like, fine. And we only really waited maybe 10 minutes and then we were back on.
Mhm.
Um, that is one that I was like, wow, my kids might be terrified of this ride, or they might like love it so much.
Yes,
Can we talk about the animatronics in that one?
that's what it is. And Every animatronic is
So
amazing.
real. Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's not just and I think about the big animatronic at Animal Kingdom, the Navi River
Yes.
Champ. Like she's miraculous, but she's just one. And
Right.
that ride is stacked with so many, and they all look that real.
Yeah. There's Frankenstein, there's Dracula. Then you have another, I don't even know if it's an older version of Frankenstein on the piano.
Hmm.
Um, and then yeah, it was just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I loved that Epic was not full of 3D rides.
So this is what everyone's been saying is it's practical rides, practical sets. There are screens, but they're not the majority and they're not close to you. So I think people who typically would get like motion sickness from a lot of those screen rides over at Universal, I think they smooth that out with Epic quite a bit.
Honestly, I do too. Because that's the one thing we noticed when we were in Islands of Adventure. We're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if it's us getting older or what, but we can't go on these rides all the time, like back to back, like we used to be able to.
Yes.
So having that was a breath of fresh air. So when we went, Battle at the Ministry was 4 hour long wait without an express pass. We got
Okay.
in line, we waited for an hour with our express pass, and then the ride went down.
Great.
So
Yeah.
we decided to get out of line. We went to go eat a little brunch. I don't know I can't remember what the name of the place is called, honestly. It's the one with the good crepes, the
Cafe
butterbeer.
de la Sirène. Yes.
Yeah. I had the quiche and it was
Yes.
the most phenomenal thing I've ever eaten in my life. It was,
Emma, I had that quiche in April of 2025. I still think about that quiche.
no, I'll never not think about it because it was so good. Something that a theme park I would never expect in 100 years to
Right.
throw
You're
that.
not like, I'm going to a theme park and
Yeah,
getting quiche.
I'm gonna get a quiche. No, no.
But
It
I
was
do think this is what Epic is a sleeper park when it comes to food because they have really done well on their food. And I
yeah,
think it's so much better than what Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios gives you for food because that feels like amusement park food to me, typically.
yes. Yeah.
This is like
Another level.
a whole different level of food.
And we were very pleasantly surprised about that.
Yes.
So I got the quiche and I got a lemon filled crepe
Mm,
and it was delicious. So after that, we looked around the shops a little bit there, and they're phenomenal.
mhm.
They're just like everything that they've done to really make you feel like you're a part of this world is crazy to me. And we were surprised that there was still some Christmas stuff up. So there were wreaths and lights and things like that,
Mhm.
that we were excited to see. And then we got back in the Battle at the Ministry line. Um, we got to walk through the Flue Flame, which was incredible.
Mhm.
I really loved it. The queue is beyond. It's just I don't think anyone's ever done anything like this actually. Like
No.
going into Forbidden Journey and to the castle was great for a first time experience, but this
Yeah.
transports you to another dimension really. Um, so yeah, I can't wait to take my kids and be able to have them see it too because they're
Mhm.
very much Harry Potter nerds.
So what
Uh,
did you think of the ride? Because
yeah,
this is always the big question, especially because of those waits, especially because people are typically spending a lot of time there. What was your take on the ride?
the ride was okay. It was not something I would wait 6 hours for, but
Right.
it's something I would go again if I had a fast pass.
Yes. And
Um,
I think that the queue is the attraction.
yes, I
I
agree.
think the queue is worth and you do feel, I mean, I waited about an hour in that queue when I went the
Yeah,
last time and it moved quickly. It felt like it moved quickly because you're moving the whole time because
there's
it's
just
so
so
big.
much. Yeah,
You're going from
yes,
room to room and characters and there's so much to see that I think an hour doesn't feel like an hour.
right. I agree with that.
Two plus hours, it would be hard. It would be hard to go through, especially when you get to the ride then and it's like, oh, that was nice.
Yeah, that was okay. The because the ride had went down, people weren't getting out of the line that they were in. So these people that went with us were waiting 6 hours, and we waited maybe an hour and a half for it.
Hmm.
And it was just like they had all these little kids there. I just can't imagine having my children in a queue for 6 plus hours to
Well, and
ride.
this is the advice I give to clients who are looking to go to Epic, especially because it's a new park. It hasn't been open a year yet. I've heard so many different things. Either there's low crowds and you can get on everything, or it's packed and you wait for 6 hours for Battle at the Ministry. I think the best advice is it's a new park. These things are still going down all the time, all the different
All
attractions.
the
It's not just that one.
time.
So you have to just manage your expectations. It's very likely you just won't get on that one ride
Yeah,
or it could be a different ride that's having issues like Minecart Madness or you
right.
never Stardust Racers. You have to just go in with like, go for the vibes, go for the experience and the
Yeah,
immersion and be happy with the rides that you do get. Because I think if you're going to go in and assume that you're going to get on all of them, it's going to be a disappointment.
right. We rode all of them but one.
Mhm.
So we were very lucky. But I also think that everybody waiting at Battle at the Ministry made all the rides anywhere else significantly lower.
Yes.
Um, I think the only other one was Donkey Kong was a 2.5 hour, 3 hour wait, maybe.
Yeah. I usually see that one around 200 minutes or more, just
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah. Um, so yeah, it was beautiful. The ride was meh, but I would ride it again if I didn't have to wait that long.
I feel it. So you did two portals. Where did you head next?
We headed to Super Mario and we rode Donkey Kong first. That ride was very fun to me.
Hmm.
It really takes you through, like when you're jumping off the tracks, like you're actually doing it. So your heart drops a little bit, but then you're like, oh, no, it's fine. We're fine.
Yes. Yeah, it has like a skip the track
Yeah.
type of effect. Hmm.
Yeah. See, at Super Mario, we also rode Mario Kart. Um,
Hmm.
we rode that in Hollywood when we went last time
And it's
too.
basically the same in
It's
both
the
coasts.
exact
Yeah.
same, yeah. And it was meh to us,
Hmm.
but it's I feel like it's geared more towards kids, maybe,
Yeah, I think
right?
my
They're
kids
in the
will love that.
yeah,
I
they're
think that like if it's me with my adult friends, like we could skip it.
right. But we wanted everyone to experience it because some of them didn't go to Hollywood with us, so we rode that,
Hmm.
and
Did you eat
it's
anything in Super Nintendo World? Because I feel like that's one that I typically skip for food because
I
there's
did
so many
not.
other. Okay.
But when we went to Hollywood, we did eat at the Super Nintendo area. We didn't eat Toadstool Cafe, but we had these mushrooms that were like pizza
Mhm.
inside of them, and like, oh, what's it
Like
called?
pesto?
Pesto. It's like mozzarella and pesto inside the green one, and pepperoni and marinara inside the red one. They're little mushrooms like this big, and there were these like fun little fizzy drinks that we drank, and those were good. So we had already had those, so we were like, no, we're gonna hold out because we're looking at those mac and cheese cones from Isle of Burke. So
Yes. Tell me about Isle of Burke.
gosh, Isle of Burke, unlike any other, I feel like that one is the one where like you're stepping in there, it's the movie. You're in the movie. The sky looks fake from
Yes.
how big the statues are. I feel like it was incredible to me.
You know
And
what
I
I think it
wasn't
is
even
too, is that one is like a full loop when you go into it. You can walk
all the way around.
around,
Yeah,
and I think the other ones feel more like in and out.
yeah,
And so
definitely.
it just feels more finished. Like
Okay.
Isle of Burke to me feels complete, whereas Battle at the Ministry feels like it's not complete yet. Darkmoor, I feel like they can do more with. It's fantastic, but I think they could do more.
Even in the back, behind Curse of the Werewolf, there's room for something
So
there.
much room.
Yeah. Yes, it was. I wasn't even like a huge How to Train Your Dragon fan. Like my kids watched it as they were growing up sometimes, but I've always loved Toothless. I've always loved Hiccup in the story. And we first went to get one of the mac and cheese cones. My friends got the one with goldfish in it. I got the PB&J, which is like pork jam. So good.
It's
Even
the
the
winning
bread,
choice.
it was the choice to make. Even the bread is like a garlicky everything bagel type bread. It
Mhm.
was phenomenal.
So you did all of the portals during the day. I want to hear what did you, I mean, you did all of them at night. You saw them all lit up. You did a few rides at night. What's
Yes,
your take on how to spend a day at Epic so that you can kind of get the best of both? Because I believe that that park is meant to be open at night. It's
it
gorgeous.
is. Yeah, it's so
So
gorgeous.
how would you recommend kind of planning for a day at that park?
Okay, I would definitely early entry and go to look on the map and go to the shortest wait things.
Hmm.
Do that first. Leisurely, you can eat your way through all the portals.
Hmm.
ride some rides. However, I believe that Hiccup Swing Glider, Stardust Racers, Curse of the Werewolf, those are all nighttime rides that you have to
Yes.
take during night.
Did you do the carousel?
We did do the carousel. We did it at night. It was beyond. I loved it so much. The way that it's not a normal carousel where you're just going around in a
Mhm.
circle like this in a big circle makes you way less dizzy.
Yes.
The
And the
music was
way it
nice.
goes to the music,
Yes,
you
it
feel like you're
was.
dancing.
Yes, it does feel like you're dancing. Yeah, it was phenomenal. Prioritize Pizza Moon because we didn't get to go, and I'm
Okay.
upset about that.
Next time.
Yeah, next time for sure. Um,
Well, I will say too, there are two restaurants that are sit down restaurants at like sit down reservation restaurants at Epic.
Atlantic, yeah, I know
Atlantic
that.
and then the Dragon, Blue Dragon, I think is what it's
Yes, yeah.
called. I don't know that you need to do that if you're only doing one day at Epic because I do think it takes a big chunk of time out of your day and there's so much good food that you can get that is not requiring a reservation. So my advice is if you're going to be there and you're doing a couple days at Epic, sure, pick one of those days. But if you've got one day in that park, don't spend time at a sit down restaurant.
And buy express passes early. We bought them when they dropped. You know, we were waiting for Universal to drop all the things. We bought them that day when they dropped. We paid $128 for express passes. By the time we got there, they were almost $300. We were like,
That's a great tip.
I'm so glad that we bought these early.
Yes, because they
Some of
will
them even bought them before they bought their actual Epic ticket. And
just
I
to
was
get
like,
in
yeah,
there.
girls, we need to buy these right now because they're going to get more expensive. We're not trying to spend all this money here, but
Yeah,
what if we had to?
that's such a good advice. We only have a couple minutes left, and I want to make sure that
Okay.
I get your take on this. So you did 7 days. How many nights were you at the Universal part of your trip?
We only did 2 nights at Universal and then we switched and met
Okay.
at Disney.
So when you think about combining a Disney and a Universal trip, because we have a lot of people out there who are like, I want to go to Orlando, I want to do theme parks, but I want to do them both. Do you think that's the way to do it? Is that the right amount of time split between the two big
I
parks?
do. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's the way to do it because for one, you could do Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios in one day for me. That's one
Okay.
day you can zoom through and see all the things that you want to see, do all the things that you want to do with an express pass.
Yes.
Um, then one full day at Epic for sure,
Mhm.
with an express pass.
This is the advice that I think a lot of people they want to cram everything in when you go down there because there's so much to see and do. You have to be okay with the fact that you won't do it all,
Yeah.
but those rest days are so key because if you didn't
Yes.
have those, the burnout would have been so real.
Yeah. And even with that, I feel like our feet were still on fire from walking all of those. I
Yes.
think we walked over 58 miles in 7 days. So it was a killer on your feet.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. The rest days are a must. You have to do them. You have to actually rest on those days too. Like go to the pool. Don't go spend all your whole day shopping at Disney Springs because it's going to be the same thing. You're going to wake up and your feet are going to feel like fire.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, it was so much fun, and I can't wait to do it again.
So you have done now two in the last year, two major girls trips, which
Yeah,
I think
two
is
in 6 months. So
West Coast, East Coast. You've done them both.
yes, yeah,
This is what I want to tell people who are like watching, who are, hearing all of this from you is if you need someone to help you with your trip, whether it's West Coast, East Coast, whatever theme park, whatever combination of parks you want to do,
right.
Emma's your person. Emma
I
knows this
am.
inside and out. You know the food, you know the way to do it, you know how to take the breaks. And so I would say I'm going to drop in all of your contact
Okay.
information in the YouTube description. So if anyone is looking for help, Emma will not steer you wrong. She has done it and you go because you want to be able to get this firsthand knowledge.
Absolutely. Yeah. I felt like it was a disservice to me to help people with Epic with I've never been there before. So
Yeah.
for me, I was like, I need to get into that park. I need to see what it's about. I need to see all the things so I can tell people. Um, and now I feel like I can plan it much better than just looking at photos. So
Yes. All right. So anyone needs any help, talk to Emma. Emma, thank you for telling me all about your trip. I was living vicariously through all of your content, and I know you have more and more coming on your socials.
yes,
So
I
follow
am.
Emma, reach out to her if you want help, and thanks for joining.
Thanks, Callie.